Welcome to Quiz Time. I'm your quiz master, Sean, and I've got 100 questions for you about World War II. Let's get started. Which event is often considered the catalyst for the start of World War II? The war against Ethiopia, the invasion of France, or the invasion of Poland? The invasion of Poland is considered the catalyst for the start of World War II. Which country was the first to declare war on Germany after the invasion of Poland? Was it the United Kingdom? Was it France? Or was it the Soviet Union? The United Kingdom was the first to declare war on Germany. In which year did the United States officially enter World War II? 1939, 1940, or 1941? The United States entered the war in 1941. The code name for the German invasion of the Soviet Union in 1941 was Operation Barbarossa, Operation Sea Lion, or Operation Husky. The name of that invasion was Operation Barbarossa. Which country was occupied by Italy and led by Benito Mussolini during World War II? Ethiopia, Greece, or Yugoslavia? Ethiopia. Which battle, often considered the turning point of the war in the Pacific, took place in June 1942 and ended in a decisive American victory? The Battle of Iwo Jima, Midway, or Okinawa? The Battle of Midway. Not a multiple choice. What was the code name for the plan to develop an atomic bomb during World War II? Code name for the development of the A-bomb? That would be the Manhattan Project. In which country was the Yalta Conference held in 1945? The Soviet Union, the United Kingdom, or the United States? The Yalta Conference. That would be in the former Soviet Union. Which country was invaded by Germany in 1941, leading to a brutal siege that lasted for over 870 days? Hungary, Finland, or the Soviet Union? The Soviet Union. Who was the Supreme Commander of the Allied forces in the Pacific during World War II? George S. Patton, Douglas MacArthur, or Omar Bradley? The Supreme Commander, Douglas MacArthur. What was the name of the German Air Force during World War II? Kriegsmarine, Wehrmacht, or Luftwaffe? Code name for the German Air Force was the Luftwaffe. What was the name of the infamous Nazi concentration camp where over 1 million people were killed during the Holocaust? Auschwitz, Buchenwald, or Dachau? Auschwitz. In which country did the Battle of Stalingrad, one of the deadliest battles of World War II, take place? Germany, France, or the Soviet Union? Of course, Stalingrad is in the former Soviet Union. What was the main goal of the Lend-Lease Act signed by the United States in 1941? To provide financial aid to war-torn countries, to supply military equipment to Allied nations, or to fund the Manhattan Project? It was to supply military equipment to Allied nations. Who was the commander of the German Africa Corps during the North African campaign of World War II? Erwin Rommel, Heinrich Himmler, or Hermann Göring? Erwin Rommel. What was the name of the failed German operation to invade the United Kingdom in 1940? Not a multiple choice. That failed operation was Operation Sea Lion. Who was the British Field Marshal known for his leadership in North Africa and later in Europe during World War II? Was that Douglas MacArthur, George S. Patton, or Bernard Montgomery? The British Field Marshal was Bernard Montgomery. What was the name of the Allied operation to liberate Western Europe from Nazi occupation on D-Day, June 6, 1944? Operation Barbarossa, Torch, or Overlord? That was Operation Overlord. Which country experienced the Winter War with the Soviet Union in 1939 and 1940? Latvia, Finland, or Estonia? The Winter War was in Finland. What was the code name for the Japanese attack on the United States Pacific Fleet at Pearl Harbor? Was it Operation Barbarossa, Operation Torch, or Operation Z? That was Operation Z, or Z. Who was a Soviet military commander who played a crucial role in defending Moscow from the German army during the Battle of Moscow? Nikita Khrushchev, Georgy Zhukov, or Lavrenti Beria? That was Georgy Zhukov. Who was the leader of the Free French Forces and later became the president of France after World War II? Charles de Gaulle, Maurice Thorez, or Philippe Pétain? That would be Charles de Gaulle. Which country was invaded and occupied by Japan during World War II, leading to the infamous Bataan Death March? The Philippines, Malaysia, or Indonesia? That took place in the Philippines. Not a multiple choice. Which country was divided into 4 zones of occupation controlled by the Allies after the war? That country was Germany. That was split 4 ways. In which city were the trials held after World War II to prosecute Nazi war criminals? Berlin, Nuremberg, or Munich? The trials were held in Nuremberg. Who was the American admiral responsible for the strategy of island hopping in the Pacific theater of World War II? Omar Bradley, George S. Patton, or Chester Nimitz? That would be Chester Nimitz. In 1943, which country signed the Cairo Declaration to strip Japan of all territories it occupied during the war? United States, United Kingdom, United States and Soviet Union, or the United States, United Kingdom, and China? That was all 3 of them: the US, the UK, and China. Which country, located in the Balkans, was under Axis occupation during World War II and had a strong resistance movement? Czechoslovakia, Hungary, or Yugoslavia? That would be Yugoslavia. What was the name of the Japanese aircraft carrier that led the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941? Yamato, Agaki, Kaga? Akagi. That would be Akagi. Which Allied country faced a severe food shortage known as the Hunger Winter during World War II? France, the Netherlands, or Belgium? That would be the Netherlands. What was the name of the agreement signed by Germany and the Soviet Union in 1939? The Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, Yalta Agreement, or the Versailles Treaty? The Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Which country, invaded by Germany in 1939, experienced a government in exile led by Władysław Sikorski? Czechoslovakia, Poland, or Austria? Sikorski. Poland. What was the name of the German tank that became synonymous with the early success of the Blitzkrieg strategy? The Tiger, the Panther, or the Panzer I? The Panzer I was that tank. Who was the leader of the French Vichy government which collaborated with Nazi Germany during World War II? Philippe Pétain, Charles de Gaulle, or Georges Clemenceau? Georges. Anyway, Philippe Pétain. I think that's how you pronounce it. Not a multiple choice. In 1938, Germany annexed which region of Czechoslovakia? A move that contributed to the outbreak of World War II. Which region of Czechoslovakia? Sudetenland. It was Sudetenland. Who was the British Prime Minister known for his appeasement policy toward Nazi Germany in the lead-up to World War II? Stanley Baldwin, Neville Chamberlain, or Clement Attlee? That would be Neville Chamberlain. In which Pacific battle did American forces raise the U.S. flag on Mount Suribachi, symbolizing a major victory in World War II? The Battle of Iwo Jima, Guadalcanal, or Okinawa? That would be the Battle of Iwo Jima. In which city were the trials of major Japanese war criminals held after World War II? Tokyo, Hiroshima, or Osaka? Those trials were held in Tokyo. Not a multiple choice. Who was the Japanese emperor during World War II and immediate post-war period? The Japanese emperor during and after was Emperor Hirohito. Emperor Hirohito. Which country remained neutral and unoccupied during World War II, despite its proximity to the conflict? Sweden, Denmark, or Switzerland? The neutral country, as always, was Switzerland. Which event in December 1944 saw a major German offensive on the Western Front that was eventually repelled by the Allies? The Battle of the Bulge, the Battle of Kursk, or the Battle of Berlin? The Battle of the Bulge. Which U.S. president made the decision to use atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945? Franklin D. Roosevelt, Harry S. Truman, or Dwight D. Eisenhower? That decision was made by President Harry S. Truman. What was the role of the Tuskegee Airmen during World War II? Tank commanders, fighter pilots, or Navy SEALs? The Tuskegee Airmen, of course, were fighter pilots. In what year did Germany annex Austria, an event known as the Anschluss, prior to World War II? 1933, 1938, or 1935? 1938. Not a multiple choice. What was the code name for the Allied plan to build a road to supply China during World War II? That would be Project Stilwell. Not a multiple choice. In which country did the Battle of Guadalcanal, a significant battle in the Pacific Theater, take place? Battle of Guadalcanal took place in the Solomon Islands. What was the code name for the U.S. effort to develop radar and electronic countermeasures during World War II? Operation Manhattan, Radiation Laboratory, or Operation Torch? That would be the Radiation Laboratory. Who was a British intelligence officer who played a key role in the formation of the Special Air Service, SAS, during World War II? David Sterling, Bernard Montgomery, or Douglas Bader? That would be David Sterling. Who was the commander of the German U-boat submarine fleet during World War II, known for his Wolfpack tactics? Erwin Rommel, Karl Dönitz, or Heinrich Himmler? Admiral Karl Dönitz. In which Japanese city was the first atomic bomb, Little Boy, dropped by the United States on August 6, 1945 during World War II? Hiroshima, Nagasaki, or Osaka? That first bomb was dropped on Hiroshima. What was the term used for Hitler's policy of territorial expansion and unification of ethnic Germans in Europe? Lebensraum, Blitzkrieg, or Anschluss? The answer is Lebensraum. Which Nazi organization was responsible for implementing the final solution? The SS, Schutzstaffel, the SA, Sturmabteilung, or Wehrmacht? The SS, Schutzstaffel. Which Nazi official was known as the architect of the Holocaust and the man behind the design of the extermination camps? Adolf Eichmann, Heinrich Himmler, or Reinhard Heydrich? Heinrich Himmler. Which German city was heavily bombed by the Allies during World War II, leading to the firebombing of the city in February 1945? Berlin, Munich, or Dresden? The answer is Dresden. What was the name of the failed attempt to assassinate Hitler on July 20th, 1944 by a group of German officers and civilians? Operation Valkyrie, Paperclip, or Dynamo? That was Operation Valkyrie. When did Germany invade France to begin World War II? 1939, 1940, or 1941? Germany invaded France in 1940. What was the defensive line built by France along its eastern border to deter German invasion? The Maginot Line, the Ardennes Wall, or the Hindenburg Line? That was the Maginot Line. What was the French government's policy of collaboration with Nazi Germany, led by Marshal Philippe Pétain, called? Free French Forces, Vichy France, or the French Underground? That was Vichy France. Which French city was liberated by the Free French and Allied forces on August 25th, 1944? Paris, Marseille, Lyon? That would be Paris. Not a multiple choice. What was the name of the famous French writer and aviator who joined the Free French forces? The French writer and aviator. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, I think. What was the date of the German invasion of the Soviet Union, marking the beginning of Operation Barbarossa? June 22nd, 1940, June 22nd, 1941, or June 22nd, 1942? June 22nd, 1941. What was the nickname given to the Soviet female sniper who played a crucial role in the defense of Leningrad and Stalingrad? Night Witch, Lady Death, or Red Rose? That would be Lady Death. Night Witch. Which Soviet tank played a significant role in battles on the Eastern Front during World War II? The T-34, the KV-1, or the IS-2? That would be the T-34. Who was the Soviet flying ace and the world's top-scoring female fighter pilot, known for her 12 confirmed kills during World War II? Lydia Litviak, Raisa Stonachevskaya, or Nina Lovkorovskaya? Lydia Litviak. And now we all know. What was the name of the Soviet spy ring operating in Nazi-occupied Western Europe, known for its role in espionage and sabotage during World War II? Red Orchestra, the Black Diamond, or White Rose? That would be the Red Orchestra. What was the name of the Japanese admiral who planned and led the attack on Pearl Harbor? Admiral Isokuro Yamamoto, Admiral Soyomo Toyoda, or Admiral Konyaki Koiso? Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto. What was the name of the Japanese suicide pilots who carried out attacks against Allied ships in the later stages of the war? Bushido Brigade, Kamikaze, or Banzai Bombers? Those were the Kamikaze pilots. Which Japanese city was the target of the atomic bomb Fat Man dropped by the United States on August 9, 1945? Nagasaki, Hiroshima, or Tokyo? That would be Nagasaki. What was the code name for the Japanese attack on the Aleutian Islands in Alaska, which occurred concurrently with the Battle of Midway in 1942? Operation Market Garden, Operation Barbarossa, or Operation Al? Operation Al, or AL. Not a multiple choice. In what year did Japan invade China, marking the beginning of its involvement in World War II? And the answer is 1937. What was the name of the British ship that famously transported British children to safety in Canada during World War II to escape the Blitz? HMS Belfast, SS City of Benares, or SS Empire Windrush? That would be the SS City of Benares. Who was a British officer responsible for planning and commanding the famous Operation Chastise? Douglas Bader, Guy Gibson, or Arthur Bomber Harris? That British officer was Guy Gibson. What was the name of the British air raid shelter used during the Blitz, known for its iconic design and use of corrugated iron and concrete? The Anderson Shelter, the Blitz Bunker, or the V2 Shelter? That would be the Anderson Shelter. What was the name of the British aircraft used in the famous Dam Busters raid, designed to bounce on water and destroy dams in Germany? Avro Vulcan, de Havilland Mosquito, or Avro Lancaster? That would be the Avro Lancaster. What was the name of the British operation that involved the evacuation of British and other Allied troops from the port of Narvik in Norway in 1940? Operation Dynamo, Alphabet, or Fortitude? That was Operation Alphabet. What was the name of the British aircraft carrier that played a vital role in the sinking of the German battleship Bismarck in 1941? The HMS Ark Royal, the HMS Hood, or the HMS Prince of Wales? That was the HMS Ark Royal. What was the name of the famous B-29 bomber that dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima in 1945? The Enola Gay, the Memphis Belle, or the Spirit of St. Louis? That was the Enola Gay. What was the name of the U.S. aircraft carrier that was famously sunk at the Battle of Midway, a turning point in the Pacific War? The USS Lexington, USS Yorktown, or the USS Enterprise? That was the USS Yorktown. What was the U.S. Navy's strategy of defeating the Japanese by capturing key Pacific islands and using them as bases called? Island hopping, submarine warfare, or guerrilla tactics? The U.S. Navy was island hopping. What was the name of the U.S. battleship that was attacked and sunk during the attack on Pearl Harbor? The USS Missouri, the USS Arizona, or the USS Enterprise? That was the USS Arizona. The U.S. aircraft used in the famous Doolittle raid on Tokyo in April 1942 was the B-17 Flying Fortress, the B-25 Mitchell, or the B-24 Liberator? That was the B-25 Mitchell. What was the name of the U.S. Navy carrier that launched the Doolittle raid on Tokyo in April 1942? The USS Yorktown, the USS Enterprise, or the USS Hornet? That was the USS Hornet. Who was the U.S. Marine Corps general known for his leadership in the Pacific, particularly during the Battle of Guadalcanal? Chester Nimitz, George S. Patton or Alexander Vandergrift? That was Alexander Vandergrift. What was the name of the U.S. government agency responsible for the converting industries for wartime production during World War II? Officer of War Information, War Production Board, or the Office of Strategic Services? That was the War Production Board. What was the name of the U.S. program that allowed Native American speakers to use their language as a code during the war? Operation Navajo Wind Talkers, Code Talker Initiative, or Operation Cherokee Cipher? That was the Code Talker Initiative. What was the name of the U.S. program that led to the internment of Japanese Americans during World War II? Operation Paperclip, the Manhattan Project, or Executive Order 9066? That was Executive Order 9066. Which French naval officer, known as the father of the A-bomb, played a crucial role in France's atomic weapons program after World War II? Louis de Broglie, André Joffre, or Yves Rocard? Yves Rocard. Who was a Portuguese diplomat and politician known for his efforts to save the Jewish refugees during World War II? Aristides de Sousa Mendes, Raoul Wallenberg, or André Maginot? That was Aristides de Sousa Mendes. Who was a French signer and actress known for her role in the French Resistance and her performances for Allied troops during World War II? Edith Piaf, Josephine Baker, or Missing Wet? That was Josephine Baker. Which French general is known for his leadership in the liberation of southern France during Operation Dragoon and his role in the Italian campaign? Philippe Leclerc, Henri Giraud, Jean Latrat de Tassigny? Jean de Lattre de Tassigny. Which German officer known as the Desert Fox was a prominent figure in the North African campaign during World War II? Erwin Rommel, Manfred Rommel, or Wilhelm Keitel? That was Erwin Rommel. Which Nazi official, known as the Angel of Death, conducted inhumane medical experiments on prisoners at Auschwitz? Heinrich Himmler, Joseph Mengele, or Rudolf Höss? That was Joseph Mengele. Which Nazi official, known as the Hangman of Prague, was assassinated by the Czechoslovak resistance fighters in 1942? Heinrich Himmler, Reinhard Heydrich, or Joseph Goebbels? That was Reinhard Heydrich. What was the German term for the Night of Broken Glass? Kristallnacht, Nuremberg Laws, or Sturmabteilung? Sturmabteilung. It's Kristallnacht. What was the German term for the Hitler Youth, a paramilitary organization for young people in Nazi Germany? Jungvolk, Hitlerjugend, Sturmabteilung? That was the Hitlerjugend. What was the name of the German aircraft responsible for the nighttime bombing of London during the Blitz? Stuka, Junkers, Heinkel? That was the Heinkel. Who was a German theologian who authored The Cost of Discipleship and opposed the Nazi regime, leading to his execution? Dietrich Bonhoeffer, Martin Niemöller, or Karl Barth? That was Dietrich Bonhoeffer. What was the German term for the tactic of using wolf packs as submarines to attack Allied convoys during the Battle of the Atlantic? Blitzkrieg, Kamikaze, or Rudeltaktik? That was Rudeltaktik. Which German scientist is famous for his uncertainty principle, a fundamental concept in quantum mechanics? Otto Hahn, Werner Heisenberg, or Max Planck? That would be Werner Heisenberg. And Number 100. Who was a Soviet marshal known for his role in the liberation of Vienna and Prague during the final stages of World War II in Europe? Georgy Zhukov, Ivan Konev, or Konstantin Rokossovsky? That was Ivan Konev. Thanks for playing. Drop your score in the comments, please. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell icon, and throw us a like. We'll see you next time on Quiz Time.